So in this video, I'll be talking about how to use Final Cut Pro enough to be dangerous in 5 minutes. And I've created about 20 YouTube videos now using Final Cut Pro, and I found it's been a fantastic software. So let's just get straight into it. Let's start the 5-minute timer right now. So this is the main screen of Final Cut Pro as I'm sort of scrolling around here. And basically, if you go to Finder, just create a new folder. For example, this example vid folder I've got, and then what you'll do is you'll create a new library, put that inside there, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm just naming an example. And then in your new library, you want to create a new project. Your project can also be whatever you want. So you can create whatever resolution you want. I tend to set my frames per second at 25 and keep the Apple ProRes thing there. So then you've got your little project, double click on that, and what you do next is go to help and type in import, then go to import media, and then if you've got like an SSD card or whatever connected, then it will show up with all your little clips and stuff. You can also select it from the side here. So I am going to select this clip, for example, from today. You can leave most of the settings intact, but I personally untick create optimized media, because otherwise it creates this massive like file that's too big for my hard drive to handle. So I untick that, import the selected thing, and then you've actually got the video clip there. It might look a little bit different if you have it like this, but you can toggle between the file system and the ribbon by clicking on that. So then what you can do is you can drag it to the timeline here, and then you've got your clip ready to go. So this clip will actually physically load once my computer loads. In this video, I'm going to be talking about algorithm. This is the most meta thing. So a video about making a video while watching a video of myself talking about YouTube. That's super duper meta. Anyway, that's a 10 seconds wasted on a random joke. So basically with the different clips, you can obviously you can change this little thing here, which allows you to change between selection and blading and that sort of thing. We're just going to start off with selection. So if you want to play your clip, you can just press spacebar, and then that's how that works. If you want to go and speed through your clip, you can actually press L and then press L again to go at 2 times speed, so you don't have to watch yourself at 1 time speed. What I tend to do is, for my primary cut, I will often, when you're starting off, I think this is a very simple way to do it. You can just do what's called blading. So if you just press B, it gives you this new icon, and then this icon can be used to like cut out different pieces. So for example, let's say that I wanted to cut out the very start of my video. I just press A to switch back to the... In this video, I'm going to be talking about the YouTube algorithm. And so, it's interesting. I probably don't want to cut out this bit. Hold on, let me go back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the YouTube algorithm. Let me see if I can find a bit I do want to cut. Give me 1 second. Algorithm. And so... Anyway, so let's say that I physically wanted to cut part of this video. What I would do is I would hit B, tap the part in the timeline that I want to cut at the starting bit, and then tap the end bit. Then I can press A again once that's cut, and then I can just delete that little bit of the clip. So that's really useful. You can also do this thing where you can sort of drag the individual parts of a clip. So let's say I just create a single blade. So I can take now this so I've split into 2 parts therefore, and I can actually drag the end and then drag that to get rid of as much as I want. This bottom bit is just the waveform, so that just represents the sound and stuff. And yeah, that's how I would start to do my initial cuts. Now, in this particular video, what I tended to do was I actually recorded some stuff that I wanted to put in for a screenshot. So if I go to here and just drag this in, I can drag in files and folders. So this has a little iPad screen recording. If I want to change that, I can actually click on this thing here in this top right bit, and then that allows me to change the sort of scale of that. So I can actually change the size, I can actually change the position by dragging the position thing up and down, and that's really useful if I want to sort of talk and stuff whilst having an iPad screen share. Now, looking at this, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it in 5 minutes, so maybe let's just make this a 10-minute video. So anyway, if I wanted to, like, obviously I need to sync this up properly. I'm not going to... Okay, bought myself another 5 minutes. So obviously I want to sync this up with wherever I am on my individual clip. So I just drag it to wherever I think the starting point is. So I know, let's just say theoretically I started here, right? So what I can do is, you can see it looks pretty weird at the moment because I've got this sort of, this is covering my face and stuff like that. So what I might like to do instead is I might like to make the iPad screen the bigger screen and then make my face the smaller screen. So to do that, I'm just going to put this literally underneath. And then here you can't really see anything, right? So I'm going to blade the start of this on the clip that has my face in it, and then I'm going to take this clip and then scale it down. I'm going to take this clip and then crop it from the left, and then I can crop it from the right as well. So this is all in this little movie film icon thing. So then I can also reduce the scale a little bit to make myself a bit smaller, and I can change the position of my face by dragging this literal X and Y there. And then this one I probably want to go back to its original size so that I can continue. Ooh, not 10%. I want it to be 100%. So that I can be there, and I'll just set the position back to 0 and 0. So it's a little bit better. I mean, there's obviously a lot of optimization that can be done with that, but that might be better than before for the time being. I can scale myself down a lot more, and then maybe that'll help clear up things into this video. So then when you play the video, then like I'm sort of positioned correctly and stuff. So that's really cool. So the next thing I'll do is, now my audio here is pretty bad, because the audio here is like really loud. You can see by the waveforms here that it's actually spiking up above this line, and that means that it's going to cause some distortion and stuff. So I want to fix that. What I'm going to do is I actually just copy and paste this thing from another one of my videos, and I'll explain the individual parts here. But you can actually copy and paste a individual clip, and then paste the properties of that clip onto your videos, which is really awesome. So for example, I've got this audio property, and now I'm going to press Shift Command V onto it, and you can see that I paste the attributes of that clip. So I've already done my sound processing on that particular clip, but now I'm transferring it over to this new clip. So in terms of that, you can see now the waveforms are already fixed, and the reason for that is if I go to the sound bit, the three things that I've set here is I've made my own EQ. So if you're doing this from scratch, what you do is you actually go down to this bottom right hand corner, click on your clip, and then you sort of click one of these two buttons. In this particular case, click on this one, and then you go to search for EQ, and then drag this channel EQ onto your clip, right? And then it'll come up down here. You can edit it to do stuff, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this one because that's not what I want. And then if I go to my actual one, it kind of looks like this. So I've got the 500 hertz set a little bit down, so you can just sort of drag this little dot up and down. I've also got the end ranges way down, so that it doesn't have any weird high-pitched sounds. So you can just copy my little wave format, and that's what I find is good for me. You can also save it as a preset here, so you can save it for next time. I've also, oops, let me go back. Let me go back. Okay, cool, we're back. I've also got this surround compressor. So that's another thing that you can find here. And I've also got a limiter. So the sound compressor settings, I just leave the default. And then the limiter, what I do is I have a 0 dB gain, release 2.0 milliseconds, output level minus 0.5, and look ahead 2.0. I don't know what any of those mean, but it does make it sound good. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, and then the last thing in the last 15 seconds is I'm going to add a like text and music and stuff like that. So literally just gonna copy and paste that from my other video too, and I've got only 10 seconds to do it. So if you go back to this project here, and then I'm gonna copy paste these four things, go back to my original video, and then paste it there. Okay, I'm going to take the liberty to just quickly explain this last bit. So the animated typography thing here, this typography I just got from Video Hive. So you can download that. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's called Animated Typography FCPX, I think. And then you can edit the text up there. You can also double click on this to edit the text. So for example, I'll be like, what's this video about? This video is about YouTube algorithm or something. Ooh, where'd it go? And then it comes up with that nice like little animated typography there. I've also got like a little whoosh sound here to make it whoosh and seem like a subtle effect. You can get that from clicking up here and just go to sound effects, and then actually you can find the different sound effects. In this particular case I've used, I think it's whoosh 1, I think. Yeah, I've used whoosh 1 at the start of that, and so that's how you get that sound there. You literally just grab any particular thing and then, you know, add that to your timeline like that. You may make sure to reduce the sound as well. So for example, for this whoosh one, you'd probably want to click on it and then reduce the sound to like -15 or something like that. Otherwise it's going to be way too loud. For the music, you can just drag an MP3 onto your particular timeline, but like in this particular case, I've got an MP3 from Epidemic Sound, and this is set at -27.5. And you do want to set this quite low, because if you don't, then the music overrides your voice, and then people will comment on it. People will find it a bit harder to hear. So yeah, that is Final Cut Pro in 5 minutes. I guess the only other thing I can quickly mention is that sometimes if I want to, for example, let's say I have this bit of a clip, right, and I want to switch to like full screen myself again instead of just having this, because obviously if we're just looking at the iPad screenshots, it's going to be kind of boring, right? So what I do in that particular case is I select both of the things of the clips there. I blade both of them at the spots that I want to switch it back at, and then I will disable the screenshot one and then change this little clip back to have the original position and the original sort of transform and stuff, so, and then the original scale. So I've literally set the position as 0, 0, I'm setting the scale back as 100, and then I'm getting rid of all the cropping things, so 0 tab 0 tab, and so therefore I'm going back to a full screen myself. So that's kind of cool. The last little thing, and I know I've gone over time, but whatever, since we're here, once you've already, once we're at this point, we might as well keep going, right? Sorry, this is not exactly 10 minutes. So I've got these infographics transitions. Final Cut Pro does come with some of its transitions itself, but in this particular case, I'm going to like just drag and drop this, let's say maybe this one, because that looks interesting. And then you just drag it in between the clips, and then that's how you make transitions. And so it's really, really easy actually, and really cool. And lastly, if you want to export your file, you go to File, Share, Export File, and then you go to Web Hosting, and then change your resolution to whatever you want, and then once you click next, it'll then save it as an MP4 file. You can use that MP4 file to upload to YouTube or whatever. So that's Final Cut Pro in 15 minutes. I know this is a very rushed video, but hopefully that gives you a bit of a whirlwind tour of how to use Final Cut Pro. That's probably everything you need to be dangerous, and you can certainly create like neat videos using that. I think I'll create a much more detailed and a much slower course at some stage in time, because that may be a bit fast for people. It's just, you don't have to take away much from this, apart from this is what the general workflow of stuff looks like for me these days, and yeah, it will be helpful for you as well. So obviously this is by no means a perfect video. I don't think I'll be able to export this particular video because it's nowhere near done yet, but I hope that's been useful for you if you're new to Final Cut Pro. So yeah, anyway, take care, and if you like the stuff on this channel, please feel free to subscribe. Here's more videos about other stuff. So yeah, okay, you take care, bye.